So this video is visiting the most crowded island on Earth. I can't forget what I saw. Let's check it out.
Santa Cruz del Islote has an area of just 1% of a square kilometer in size, where 816 people squeeze their entire lives. The island is so full that a guy does his daily workout routine near a dog feces, and chaotic life here creates new adaptations. Since we arrived on the island, we've been constantly encountering people no matter where we turn.
People come out from every corner.
It's impossible to be alone on these crowded streets. Each house here
the thing about that is, this seems abnormal to us, but to them, this is normal. They can coexist in it. This is what they know. Like, people know this. Like, you look at the way we're growing. Pretty soon, I ain't gonna say pretty soon, but eventually we could be just like this in this type of a situation, living this close. Heck, you go to some cities, I kid you not, where I grew up, my aunt that used to babysit and keep me, like, Mr. and Lover to Death, rest in peace. I used to be able to, the neighbor's house was so close that it was a fence in between it. I could step off of her porch, step onto the fence, and then step over onto their porch using the fence, just never touching the ground. I'm telling you, we could be like this.
Has dozens of people living together in tiny rooms.
How many people live in this room?
About 10.
This is an average room of an average house. You will be shocked when you see how other people live. But these people have a much bigger problem than these houses, which makes life so extremely terrible here.
Welcome to the most densely populated island on Earth.
A 2-hour boat ride away from the mainland of Colombia, the island is just a little bigger than a football field in size and has a density of 68,000 people per square kilometer. Even in Hong Kong, known as one of the most densely populated cities in the world, this rate is 6,749. There are only 4 streets, and the place is entirely constructed of concrete. They don't have cars or motorcycles here. We feel the density as soon as we step onto the island. The sounds of people, roasters, waves, and music all mixed together. The homes here tell the story of the island. Let's get inside one now.
Can we see inside your house?
Yes, you may. See, I don't have anything. Sorry, it's a little dark inside.
We don't have electricity here.
You can see that they have some laundry work in the hallway and they leave them to dry in this open area. Let's start with this room. Homeowner says 10 people share these 3 beds together.
This is my room.
How many people sleep on that bed?
3.
What about this room?
She is not allowing us to enter this room as it's too unorganized.
Kids used to sleep here. Since it is too hot, we take the mattresses out of the room because there is no electricity.
7 kids are living in this room alone. They're making use of every bit of space, even the walls. Because they don't own a wardrobe, their clothes, shoes are all over the place. The kitchen is far from being clean because of the water shortage. People use water only for drinking. All other reasons have to be disregarded. Almost any time on the streets we see laundry hung up or just left lying around, some barbers at work, chairs spilling out of homes, children constantly running up and down. 220 families live in houses illegally built. Here, permission is not obtained from any authority, and no one is officially a landowner. Everybody builds their houses wherever they want. When they can't find any space, they build on top of existing buildings. The buildings are so intertwined that sometimes they have to walk through each other's homes to get to.
Sound like to me, people making the best out of the situation that they had. That's what it sounds like to me, man. You can't knock it. You can't turn your nose up at it. You can't look down on it. You can't do none of that, man. They're making the best out of their situation. My only question would be, like, during storms, like, that has got to be the scariest of the scariest. When an actual storm hits that area, it's gotta be like, oh my God, your life has to flash before your eyes every time a storm happens.
To the other side. As we get to know islanders more and more, we will discover a very different reason why their future is going to get even worse. Population density defies all logic. We see dishes and leftovers everywhere, and this dog is trying to eat the crumbs left on the spoon. Some people are fishing, others selling food on street corners, and some working on construction. A few are trying their luck with a lottery machine brought to the island, dreaming of becoming rich. As this all happens, there's a birthday celebration, and the party sounds can be heard everywhere. People are striving for comfort in their little space.
Is this her own house or is she on a rent?
My own house.
What is the average rent here?
There are some who pay rent because there are people who are not from here. They pay $50 to $75. Usually the only utility they pay for is electricity.
There is a crowded family here. They gave the second floor to their married children so that they can stay there.
It seems they have a communal life here.
For you to have a better understanding how small this island really is, I came to the furthest side of it, and I will walk to the other side. And while doing that, I'll start a timer. Let's see how many minutes it will take.
We're trying to find our way among the maze-like narrow streets. Privacy is impossible here because with every step we pass through someone's life. Kids dominate this island's population. Even a space of 4 or 5 steps turns into a vast playground in the imagination of these children. Island has 1 school, 1 church, 1 clinic, 1 hotel, 1 restaurant, and 3 markets. 200 years ago, none of these streets, this chaos, garbage, mosquitoes, and the people were here. According to a legend, some fishermen discovered this island and spent the night here when it was too late to return. Then they decided to settle here with their families after sleeping well without mosquitoes. It was later artificially enlarged by compressing coral rocks, seashells, and waste year after year.
It took less than 2 minutes.
We met a night.
Less than 2 minutes. Less than 2 minutes to get across the island. Now, one thing I was trying to pay attention to was everyone's facial expressions to see like what's everybody's temperament. How do people feel? Because if you're in that close quarters with people, there's really no room for you to have tension, beef, or anything. You gotta coexist. You know what I mean? So you either gotta have a problem, hash it out, figure it out, and get by, because you're gonna run into that person. So it'll always be violence if that was the case. So you gotta figure out. So maybe we need to study this type of environment to see, you know, how the mental health is here. How do people, you know what I mean? Because I saw a bunch of smiles. Now, I ain't naive to think that it's always like that, but maybe, just maybe, they're happier more. They're happier more than people like us are that has all this space. So I don't know, maybe more studies should be, if allowed, with, you know what I mean, permission from them, more studies to see how is the way of life, how is it living there.
94-year-old lady who witnessed everything here.
Was she born on this island?
She never left, not even a single day.
Wow.
Fishermen first came from the Baru region. They started to expand the islet, and in 100 years the islet became like this. There were no motors back then or anything like that, only small canoes with paddles. If you remember it correctly, when I was born there was only this house and a few more houses. The rest was nothing.
We are blessed to be located on the world's 2nd largest coral reef with its amazing, amazing sea life. Waves that rise 20 to 30 meters in the open ocean are reduced to merely 25 to 30 centimeters when they reach our shores. Look, all that you see around the island, up to 5 or 6 miles off the coast, is surrounded by pure coral. We're safe here.
How many people live here?
So that answers my questions about thinking about waves and different things like that. And then she's been here. Like I said, I think they said she was born, so 90-something years here. So she's seen a lot and would have witnessed several storms. So if she still hasn't left, then I guess that wipes away all my worries.
2 families live here. Each family consists of 6 members, 12 people in total.
Where is the kitchen?
The kitchen. The stove goes here. That's not a problem. We cook with propane gas.
Dogs can't grow anymore once they hit a certain size because of not getting enough nutrition. Life here is really limited for every creature. Here, we meet the nurse who has helped almost everyone come into the world healthy.
40 years of delivering babies.
How many babies?
Oh my goodness, I've lost count. I don't even remember. Most of the youth in this town pass through these hands that you see. I delivered almost everyone on this island, and now I'm delivering even their children's children. And I've never had a baby die. Little children with vomiting, a high fever, or diarrhea come to me. I tell them what to do or which medicine to take. I'm like a doctor. Everyone knows me here.
The lack of modern healthcare services on the island poses a risk in emergency situations. But as you will understand by the end of the video, their real problem is so much more vital. By the way, according to the locals, the average life expectancy on the island is 85 to 90 years.
My sister died.
They doing something. They doing something. What is our average? What is our average life expectancy here in the U.S.? Don't y'all get on me for looking up average life expectancy. U.S. Let's see. 77 is the average life expectancy here since, and this is since 2020. So we'll just go with 70, 77. It's around that area right there. So 85, 90 here, something like that. They doing something right.
Died at the age of 103.
People get to go beyond these limits only after they lose their lives because there is no cemetery on this island where people can bury their loved ones as there is no land to dig. After the corpses are toured around the square with a ceremony, they are then taken to the mainland by a boat and buried there.
What is the average age for girls to get married or have a child?
Typically, girls are 16 years old when they have their first children. This also applies to their children when they get to that age.
There is no family planning and the population keeps growing rapidly.
How many kids do people usually have?
Here, from 2 to 5.
Family life here is uniquely laid back. Most of the couples are together without any official marriages. Also, it's not unusual for people to have kids with more than one partner, but that's part of life here.
Is she married?
I have a husband, but I'm not married.
Oh, really?
Which means it's all free union.
Also, people don't care about their personal space and joke around all the time.
One of the biggest problems of the island is trash. Some of these will be in the ocean, some of these will be sent to the mainland. But you can feel the smell and the amount of mosquitoes wherever you go. Is it filming?
Most of the waste is hidden in the ocean. Without thinking twice, people just throw their loads of garbage into the water, which they see as a dump.
Okay, that's not good at all there. I'm surprised like no type of government agency has stepped in and done something or tried to regulate to or give them a way to discard the trash. This isn't good. Look at that. You see flip-flops right here. Look at that. You see a flip-flop. Earlier we saw a bag. You're seeing all kind of plastics down here. Like this is not good at all.
Dumping ground, plastics, glass, and metal pieces. But what you will see next will make you feel more disgusting. Unbelievably, even a toilet can be found at the ocean floor. The crabs swimming in this pollution are some of the important food sources for the residents. And these broken cages were used to hunt these animals.
There are some plastic bags in the ocean. People are fishing. These women are washing their clothes. Life is chaotic here.
Access to electricity and drinking water here varies depending on the weather conditions. Solar panels are here.
This is the way they produce electricity for the island.
We have 380 solar panels and 180 batteries, which gives us energy for everything.
If the weather is sunny, electricity is provided between 12 a.m. to 5 p.m.
Is there something that she wants to change in this island?
Mainly the electricity. Look, today we've been without electricity for 4 days.
All the greens are hot.
You see tomatoes and peppers. Since there isn't enough power, these are not very fresh.
These power generators are working.
Almost everything people need is provided in the 3 markets on this main street, including medicines. This is the trading center of the island.
There's another shop here. You can buy some t-shirts and shorts.
We have a lot of wind here. The salt carried by winds damages our devices.
The real struggle begins with the obtaining of drinking water, as there is no tap water in here. As you see, they gather the rainwater with these pipes. Not even a single drop of water is wasted.
Drinking water? We suffer a lot. There, below the health center, we have a community tank that we call the lung of the island. When it rains, the joy is so immense here that we go partying that day. Here, the drought scares us so much. It takes 7 to 8 months to get some rain here. We store that precious liquid and then we distribute it to all the families equally without skipping anyone. The Navy sees the problem we have here. They let the mayor's office use their ships so that they could bring us some water. This helps.
That's a problem then. If it takes so long to get a good rain, then you get water and then you disperse the water to everyone on the island, man. As y'all keep growing and now it has to keep spreading out even more, that's gonna give you less water. So I foresee the growth of the island as being one of the worst things about it right now. As more people grow, get married, have kids, that's less and less water to disperse amongst everybody. So that's a red flag.
Helps a lot.
Now we have some water. All the tanks are full because it has rained.
Also, the island doesn't have any sewage system. Even though rain means good news in terms of water supply, rainfalls are bringing life into the edge of a chaos. Since the enlarged areas of the island are not solid, hurricanes or a heavy rain makes houses and streets unusable.
What does he not like about this island?
The only bad thing is the rainy season. When it rains, the tides rises. All these streets are flooded with seawater. More in September and October. During those months, if these houses didn't have these raised floors, the rainwater would enter the rooms.
Keep in mind that they are also without electricity during these seasons.
We are at the heart of Santa Cruz del Islote. This is the only monument on the island, and it is called La Patrona.
Monument protects us from hurricanes.
We are inside the small church of this settlement. It seems like it needs some repairing.
Are you the priest?
I am the leader.
There are many young kids on this island. What will their future be like?
After they finish primary school, they don't go on to further studies. Their parents don't have the means to send them to the mainland.
So there are 240 students on this island and 12 teachers.
Welcome to the only school on the island.
This is a classroom for the grade 1. Since there is no school in the neighboring islands, students from there also come here, and their school service is of course a boat. Every young boy here loves playing soccer, even the girls.
What do you want to become when you grow up?
A soccer player.
Where do they want to play?
In Madrid. The Paris team. In Argentina.
Locals are earning their living by tourism. Qualified as a national park, the island charges $2.5 from the tourists for the entrance. With the arrival of these hundreds of tourists every day, a much bigger chaos appears on the streets.
For us, tourists are a blessing from God. They are a source of employment, directly or indirectly.
I am a bartender.
What is the average salary or profit for a person here?
It depends very much on the season. There is a guy who goes diving. If he's lucky, he can make $30 per day. If there are a few tourists, he can only earn $15. A bartender, depending on the tourism season, after expenses and paying workers, can make $50 per day.
This is if they can attract foreigners. Here there is an aquarium built for tourists where locals keep fishes, sea turtles, and even sharks in a very limited space. Famous for allowing tourists to swim with these animals, this place significantly contributes to the local economy. Fishing is very important as well, but the people don't really value what the environment provides for themselves. The islanders now have to import fish because of marine pollution and overfishing.
When you go out fishing, you no longer catch the same amount of fish. That is to say, right now, the fish in the restaurants is brought here from the mainland.
Those who feed roosters are also keen on cockfight. Every Saturday, some islanders bet their money on these events and have fun. This is the only hostel of Santa Cruz del Islote. Let's go inside. A peaceful atmosphere is created for the tourists here. It looks like a silent shelter in chaos. Despite this crowd, there is not even a single police that provides security, nor a state of law on the island. Since everybody knows each other here, they don't need for it.
Look, we have 800 people here and we have no police. So you don't see robberies, muggings, or stabbings. We live peacefully here.
Our police...
See? See? It's not all bad. It's not all bad. I could tell by the faces and the smiles and the interactions that it probably was like that. Like, you probably would get put off the island if you started any type of argument, fight, do any type of crime. They probably get you off of there pretty quick. And if you don't have any other family or means and you get sent away, then you have nothing. Yeah.
Here are older adults. We respect them so much here. If there is an argument, a misunderstanding, or a fight, the older adults set in and grab us, find out who is right, and then give us advice. Then, we shake hands and keep on being the same brothers and sisters with no hard feelings.
Does he have plans to migrate to somewhere else?
I'll spend my entire life on this island. I was born and raised right here. I'm going to die right here.
In the evening, residents are more active and everywhere is more crowded since the weather cools off. When the sun goes down, the island gets completely dark because there isn't electricity at night. People use candles or flashlights of their mobile phones, which are charged during certain hours to brighten the night. Everyone goes outside of their doorsteps because their houses are very tiny and dark. Besides, there is nothing to do inside of the houses. The darkness never prevents the island's vibrant spirit. There's also a little pub where everyone gathers. Most of the locals drink a lot during the night. We hear Latin music all the time. People are singing and dancing together. Some of them play domino, a very popular game here. And the birthday party is still going on. Some of the garbage from this event is already piled up here. Most of these people living in isolation from the rest of the world have never left these boundaries in their entire lives. They have no desire to leave their small world or to strive to improve their living standards with each passing day. The island community has a deep bond to their homeland and they focus on shared happiness and positive values.
The biggest problems of Santa Cruz del Istote are the lack of clean water and insufficient cleaning garbage. Island is not in a position to accommodate more people. Despite all the negatives, people are connected to each other like a big family and are happy.
We've been playing around with the Apple Vision Pro and learning a few things about it. And what we've learned is
basically it's a great way to mix your virtual reality with your real reality pretty much. You can have all of your apps like I have right now, a browser tab open about 2 inches away from your face while you're on the New York City street. And with the turn of this dial at the top, the crown dial, everyone kind of disappears. And I'm now on a sand dune with Twitter pulled up in the background.
I wish I was there.
I know it looks warmer here where I am. And now we're back. Hi, Katie.
Oh, hello. Are you like worried you're gonna like trip on the curb up here? Should I be like, watch out, there's a curb?
So I can't really see my feet
right now. There's a car. Did you see that car?
No, I did not.
Yeah. There's a car turning like right there.
I know, I have to like fully like
this
turn
is a little
like
bit of a dangerous intersection.
I know, I'm like, I have to.
You're not seeing
It's a
everything,
bit It's a
right?
bit limited, yeah.
Okay.
It's a bit limited. See, now I'm using it and I have a browser open of people passing through Twitter right now.
We got the green light now. We can walk.
We can walk. Great.
So who has one? Y'all let me know in the comments. Does anybody have one and have used it? What's the reviews? Let me know. I want one, but I still ain't breaking down and pay that type of price for it. So, you know what I mean? I'll wait for a few more innovations, price to come down and become affordable, and the newness wears off. Now I'll get one.
I'm Katie Natopoulos. I'm a correspondent here at Business Insider. I'm with Jordan Hart, a trending technology reporter, and we're here to talk about the Apple Vision Pro.
Yeah, let's do it.
Oh, your thing went blue.
You're looking at like Apple's display of my eyes. They're tracking my eye movements. They're tracking my hand gestures. Your eyes are like the cursor here.
Mm-hmm.
So like what I look at is what's kind of highlighted for me to select. And with the click of my fingers like this, I can select it. This thing is jammed packed with 12 cameras, 6 microphones, so it is not missing a beat here. Some of my favorite features, I'm a movie watcher.
Okay.
I'm a show binger. It's a tough one for me because I'm a social movie watcher as well. You know, I want to comment to my friends about it and like, we're all watching the same thing. So that part was a little bit isolating. And I would also say working in it, you know, it's a little bit sci-fi to think about working through the Vision Pro all day long.
Yeah.
But it's pretty convenient to have all of my windows and whatnot that I need or want to be looking at all day pulled up right here next to me. You know, it really refined my work from home experience.
Like, what were things that were fun or useful for it other than watching movies and doing work?
Yeah, so I did cooking it at home. So that was really cool to have like my timers kind of floating off to one side, my playlist pulled up, and then like my text messages pulled up while I was still able to see my hands and see what I was doing. It was a little bit difficult to kind of like focus outside of the headset on like those fine motor skill tasks, like cutting something. I want to look at my hands and look at what I'm doing. It was kind of hard to like focus on the real world and like kind of get out of the virtual a little bit.
Like, are we supposed to be cooking with this thing on? Because, come on, let's take it back to like what it actually is. It's a goggle. So this part from here to here looking down, like you literally probably have to turn your whole head and look down like that in order to probably see what you're doing. So I can imagine doing something as little as chopping would be very, very intense because you're struggling and straining probably your eyes to try to see when, I don't know if that's made for you to be doing that, or maybe it is. I don't know, but it would seem very, very stressful and hard to do that. Like, come on, what are we doing here, man? Like y'all trying to stretch it outside its boundaries already instead of just working within the confines of what you're actually supposed to be doing on this device. Like, we take it so much further.
Have to like touch your iPhone or an iPad with like a dirty,
Yeah, that's
like,
a really good
raw
point.
chicken hand.
I'm definitely the person who's like always like rinsing my hands after I touch like everything in the kitchen. I mean, Apple really thought of like the spatial computing of it all.
So why is Apple selling this? And like, what is spatial computing?
Here is like a chance to blend in the things you love about your iPhone, your iPad, your Mac into this headset, and it kind of combines those things and combines it with the world around you. And that's kind of what spatial computing is as well. But it's also, you know, helping me look at you and showing me, hello. Right now, like you're right next to my Apple window.
I kind of wish that we both had them and we could be seeing the same screen together.
That would be really
So that
cool.
we could be in like dual VR. The ultimate like dream, right, is to be able to like see the world through somebody else's eyes. So like someone puts it on and you can just be like watching their thing through your goggles.
I think that's gonna come soon. Maybe an update or maybe something like that. Maybe you'll be able to tap in if you're on the same Wi-Fi. So you possibly could be connected through that, or maybe there may be a Bluetooth where you can connect through Bluetooth. There's gonna be some kind of way that you can connect with the person, you know what I mean? And really enjoy something together. That's like with video games. Video games are fun, but it gets better when you can do the multiplayer with somebody else that may or may not be in the same room with you. So that's when it takes it up to another level. So I would imagine if it doesn't have that capability, it'll be coming shortly.
Sitting in your house and like someone else is out there in the world doing something interesting. That's actually really pathetic when I'm saying that now.
I get it. I understand.
Like I just want to sit at home and have someone else do something. That's sad. What's your phone number?
There we go.
It looks so weird.
I can imagine.
It's like I'm talking to a ghost.
I'm a little bit aged on there. That's the first thing I noticed.
It's like weird that you look 20 years older in your avatar.
The positive thing is like I can see you just fine. You look normal. This is like regular FaceTime. You're floating in my sea of windows, but you're you. And I'm, a ghostly, hopefully slightly okay looking version of myself.
Oh my God. What do you think that the Vision Pro is missing right now?
For me, it's all about the apps. I need YouTube. I need Netflix. I would predict that they're waiting to see about the hype and about the drive of people to get this Vision Pro before they really invest in their apps. But it's kind of a tough situation because those are things that I need the Vision Pro to have if I'm going to reach for the Vision Pro instead of other pieces of technology that already exist.
All right, should I hang up on you?
Go for it. I'm like, let me float off into the... Did you see my floating hands? Wait, are you seeing my hands?
Oh, there they are. There they are. Oh my God.
God, they look so bad.
Don't look attached to you.
I want to see how to like be able to like trade from the stock market. Like imagine a candle printing in front of you and you really feeling like you're in the actual. I bet that would be crazy.
I'm like worse than a sim right now. I'm like an emoji.
Really funny. It is you. So the battery life, how is it?
So this battery pack here, it connects right here into the Vision Pro. If you have it off, the Vision Pro is off. You'll put it on and just see nothing, see black. And then when you connect the battery pack, that's when it comes to life. You definitely have to have it on. And it's about like 2 hours or so, 2.5 hours of active use. You can use it while it's plugged in. So the battery pack here has a charger port. You plug in the charger to the wall and you'll be probably close to the wall a little bit, but you can sit and still use it.
Is the weight really heavy?
It's about the same as that iPad Pro, the 12-inch one. This is an iPad, on my face, and it's a bit cumbersome after a while. I've had a bit of like headaches when I first was wearing it. It's like an eye workout, you really got to focus. I can't really like mindlessly scroll like I would on my laptop with a trackpad.
You don't think you could do like your full 8-hour workday in this?
Probably not.
Or like it would be uncomfortable.
I might need a nap at lunchtime probably to like rest my eyes, recharge. They definitely should work on making it lighter if they want people to be using this for hours on end.
Do you think that wearing that is like isolating?
When I'm in the headset, it is a little bit isolating. People can't see what I'm seeing and share the experience with me. It's kind of like I have to do it on my own. You know, it's distracting in conversation. It's definitely not as social of a device as I would want for my daily life.
I've been hearing that there's actually been quite a few people who were really excited by the headset. I actually know a guy who's super passionate about all Apple products, so excited to get this, and then tried it out for a while and decided, actually, I'm gonna return it.
I could see the average consumer returning it, only because, like, for me, I was wowed by it in the first 48 hours. But for me, I was kind of like, after a week, I've done it all on it. The possibilities aren't endless in the Vision Pro, I would say.
So why do you think big tech companies are coming out with these kind of AR, VR, spatial computing things right now?
I think it pays to be on the new frontier. I think these big tech companies, you know, are looking for ways to kind of plant their flag on the moon here and really have a real expertise in the area. If it catches on and people love it and you're like the godfather of the VR headset, then you know you've won.
What do you think this is meant to replace?
People got to remember, man, this is still all brand new. So like this is you're just getting what you have right now, but they're gonna expand. Like give it some time. That's what I think a lot of people have to temper their expectations in the beginning, man. Give it a chance and then allow it room to grow.
I think that's the cool thing about it is it's like not meant to replace anything, but it's also meant to replace everything at the same time because it has the familiarity of an iPhone or an iPad, but it's a completely different way of experiencing those same apps that you know and love.
So you've had it now for a week and you've been testing it and using it. What's your verdict?
I think Apple is onto something here. Do I think it's ready for that $3,500 price tag for people to run out and go grab it right now? Probably not. What's that thing about like $1 for every use you get out of it or something people do for budgeting? This, I don't know if I'm gonna use this 3,500 times.
Yeah, I feel like for that price point, I needed to wash my dishes, be my computer, do my laundry,
do my taxes,
drive me around. Yeah.
But this was something people were probably saying about, you know, computers and whatnot at one point. But, you know, knowing Apple, they're going to keep working on it. They're going to keep refining it. And, you know, who knows, one day maybe we'll all be existing in the Vision Pro world.
Okay. Jordan, I do have a question.
Yes.
Can I try it?
Of course you can, yes.
Okay.
I love how you're like physically reacting to it.
Whoa, okay. Okay. Oh, help. Oh no. Oh no.
It's hard for me. I'm like, what are you seeing right now?